What happened when my teacher tried to hand my scholarship to someone else? I was 17, a high school senior, and the scholarship was my lifeline. Without it, college was a dream I couldn't afford. My mom worked endless double shifts at the diner. My dad had walked out years ago. We barely covered rent. The scholarship was full tuition, books, even housing. It wasn't just money, it was freedom. It was hope. It was my chance at a future. I'd done everything right. Perfect grades, debate team captain, community volunteering, tutoring freshmen. Every teacher told me I was the clear frontrunner. Everyone knew I had earned it. Awards night finally came. My mom ironed her only good dress. I borrowed a tie from my neighbor. We sat side by side in the auditorium, hands clasped so tightly my fingers ached. One by one, they announced awards. Math, science, leadership, athletics. Finally, the big moment, the scholarship, the one everything depended on. And this year's full academic scholarship goes to... Principal Harris paused dramatically. Amanda Price. Crowd erupted. Applause shook the room. Amanda, in her designer dress and sparkling jewelry, stood up beaming. She wasn't even in the top 10 of our class. My stomach flipped. My mom glanced at me, her face falling in confusion, then disappointment, then something even worse, helplessness. Afterward, while Amanda basked in congratulations, I stormed to my guidance counselor, Mrs. Doyle. There has to be a mistake, I said. My voice cracked. That scholarship is merit-based. I have the highest GPA. Mrs. Doyle gave me a tight smile, like she'd rehearsed it. The committee considered other factors. Amanda represents the school better. Represents. That was code. Amanda's father had just donated 6 figures for a new stadium scoreboard. She didn't earn it. She bought it. That night, I couldn't sleep. I stared at the ceiling until the streetlights blurred. Rage and despair twisted inside me. But then I remembered. The scholarship required verified community service hours. I had logged over 200, signed by directors of the shelter and food pantry. Amanda? She joked about skipping volunteer shifts all the time. The next day, I asked to see Amanda's service verification. Mrs. Doyle refused. That's private, she snapped, but luck intervened. Amanda's brother bragged in math class that she forged her forms. She just scribbled her name and Doyle signed it. That was the crack I needed. I gathered my paperwork, every signed hour, every verification. Then I contacted the local newspaper. I wasn't just fighting for myself anymore. I was fighting for the truth. 2 days later, the headline hit. Student questions fairness of school scholarship process. The article spread like wildfire. Parents were outraged. Alumni commented online. Teachers whispered in the halls. Amanda's perfect smile vanished. By Monday, Principal Harris called me into his office. He was flushed, sweat soaking his collar. Why didn't you come to us first? I did, I said, voice steady. Mrs. Doyle ignored me. He slammed a hand on his desk. Do you realize the embarrassment you've caused this school? I slid my folder across to him. No. Do you realize the fraud you tried to cover up? By Friday, the school board held an emergency session. The truth spilled out. Amanda's service hours were forged. Committee had been pressured. Mrs. Doyle had signed off without checking. In front of the entire senior class, they revoked Amanda's scholarship. My name was announced as the rightful recipient. The gymnasium erupted. Some clapped, some whispered, some stared in shock. Amanda sat frozen, tears brimming. Her dad glaring daggers from the bleachers. Mrs. Doyle resigned 2 weeks later. For personal reasons, the official letter said. Everyone knew the real reason. Graduation day came. I crossed the stage, diploma in one hand, scholarship certificate in the other. My mom stood in the audience, sobbing, hands pressed to her mouth. For the first time, I felt the weight of possibility. College wasn't just a dream anymore. It was real. They tried to steal it. They tried to erase years of my work, my sweat, my sacrifices. But I refused to stay quiet. And in that moment, I learned something I'll carry forever. Sometimes doing the right thing means making people uncomfortable. Sometimes it means standing alone until the truth is louder than the lies. That scholarship wasn't just mine. It was proof. Proof that no matter how rigged the system seems, sometimes the underdog wins.